Well, Shai Franklin is a partner with Gotham Government Relations, a US-based communications consultancy firm, and he joins us now live from New York. Shai, thank you very much indeed for coming on the programme, as always. Well, first of all, your reaction to this pact and what it means for safety, security in the Indo-China region.
China has had a long policy of expanding its footprint in the Pacific and in Asia. And I assume that's its right, but there's been less of a countervailing force to balance that. And I think this helps promote stability. These are nuclear-powered submarines. These are not nuclear weapon submarines. These will help project Australia and other security interests in the region, so that China doesn't have an open door to take over, whether it's in the South China Sea or it's to take over Taiwan. The British have an interest here, not only because of the past colonial history, but even more recently when they gave up Hong Kong to China, it was with certain guarantees of democracy and political participation in Hong Kong, and those have been flagrantly violated. China and Russia are lately very aggressive, Russia in particular in Ukraine. And it's interesting to see, as Russia is trying to expand its footprint into Europe, the foreign minister is also trying to recast Russia as an Asian power, having conquered Asian territories over the past centuries.
I mean, we're looking at pictures of the British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who said China presents a challenge to the world order. Certainly, we know that their military budget has extended and grown over the last few years. Its last defence budget was more than Australia, India and Japan combined. Is the fear amongst the US, Australia and the UK that China's military expansion is essentially changing the geography of the region?
It certainly threatens to, and the Australian government would not have considered this submarine deal 5 or certainly not 10 years ago. It's in response to this Chinese adventurism and this expansion of its military strategy that Australia has agreed with the UK and the United States to build up this presence. And originally they were going to get non-nuclear submarines from France. The Russians have spurred a whole NATO enlargement and resurgence in Europe as a result of their unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. So we see this on both sides of Asia, I guess. And also Xi Jinping has just crowned himself basically ruler for life within China. So perhaps he has some additional pretensions or aspirations to be unchallenged in the region as well, beyond China's borders.
And looking a little bit further ahead, Shai, is this kind of an arrangement, this kind of pact, is it politics proof, so to speak? Because we know that Joe Biden may not be in the White House for too much longer, and, for example, Donald Trump may return. So would this pact be strong enough to stand on through any political change that might happen in the White House?
I believe so. First of all, because of the nature of the agreement, once you have major contracts drawn up, once the sale of these 3 American submarines goes through, you start building up infrastructure in Australia to build additional nuclear subs over the next 20, 25 years. Then there's a tremendous incentive in the American defense industry. And also, Rishi Sunak himself is a conservative leader. He's a Tory leader, so he has more in common politically, perhaps, with Donald Trump or any other Republican who might become president in the future. Trump also, it's important to note that while Trump was ready to dismantle NATO in the West with Europe and the North Atlantic, he actually helped put the China challenge on the map for American policymakers in both parties. So I don't think that Donald Trump would be the one to back away from such a deal.
Shai, we thank you, as always, for your analysis. Shai Franklin there, joining us from New York.